Eyes of Indigo.
Yay.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Have a day before Turkey Day. No, that might be more of a quail. You could also do people eat ham.
Why didn't the turkey want to eat?
Why?
He was already stuffed.
That's a muted bell for the cute weird joke. Arr, arr, arr. Wah, wah. Very good, guys. Woo, welcome to the show. Eyes of Indigo. I am Margot, and this is Iris beside me.
Howdy.
Absolutely. And a little bit of housekeeping to get us started. We are coming to you live. We like it when you write or type in the chats or in the comment on Facebook or YouTube. And we're especially interested to see if Facebook is behaving because lately it hasn't been. Surprise. Let us know if you're watching us through Facebook. Just write hello or hi or whatever you want to say in the comments and let us know if we're coming through. Otherwise, you can also catch us on YouTube, of course. And hello to all our future listeners who are following us in a recording out into the future. We love you too. And we're glad you're here. Iris, recently, one of our colleagues found out and that we have 100. We hit the 100 mark on subscribers. I guess on YouTube, right?
Yes, yes,
Yay!
100 on
That's cool.
YouTube.
That is a really cool landmark to have.
We are very excited, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everyone that choose to subscribe. Please, if you have not yet, hit like and subscribe on our YouTube down at the bottom, of course. And whenever you're ready, but sooner the better. Afterwards, you can also listen to us in recordings on things like what are they called? Iris.
Say that again. I'm sorry, dear. I'm
I'm
still
sorry.
trying to figure out the darn Facebook issue. I just can't figure it out.
I
Okay.
was thinking of the what are iTunes.
Oh, iTunes, Spotify, or
Spotify.
any other aggregator. Yeah.
iTunes and Spotify carry Eyes of Indigo podcast as well. And if you are looking for a specific topic or subject, we've been doing this since September of 2020. You can see a whole index that will jump you right to specific episodes attached to specific topics and a handy dandy chart with links that Iris made and posted on her private website called iriscarter.com.
Yes.
Yay.
So you see, my name's up there, just add a .com to it. There you
That's
go.
right,
No spaces.
iriscarter.com. And you can do research. We've done well over 100 episodes. We talk a lot. And if you want to find out why we talk a lot, where that came from, what kind of education, background, experience, and credentials these two cookie heads have, go to our first episode. And we call it the prequel. And the very first episode, basically, Iris and I interview each other and we rattle off our credentials and experiences in a little 30-minute segment. So you can check us out if this is your first time. And that means welcome to our first timers as well. Thank you for being here. So tonight's show, we are, as always, talking about we're talking about weird stuff in a rational way is our motto and focus, and discussing weird stuff in a rational way. There you go. And tonight's show is about chakras. And we're focusing on the blue fifth chakra, level 5 chakra, the throat chakra. And the advertising that we wrote, the blurb Iris wrote with it is, we are spending some time on the 7 main chakras, one color at a time. The fifth on this series was the heart chakra, and that was from last week. It was green. And now we are on to the throat chakra, and we will follow up every few weeks with another color, basically once a month. So, and we talk about what they represent, where they are, and how each of them affects each of us and our society. So tonight we're talking about throat chakra. And Iris, when you're ready, can you bring us back up on this?
I'm so sorry. I am like multitasking over here, and I just realized I had done that.
I found a typo and you didn't, and I'm like, "Ooh, I know Iris is multitasking."
Where did I do that?
The blurb talks about heart chakras instead of throat
Oh,
chakras
shit.
from
I
last
changed
week.
it everywhere I thought I did, but oh well.
Honey, you're multitasking. I am fortunate you keep me abreast, and I also added to your plate with recruiting you as web marketing person, my guru. So trust me, you come by it honest. I get that. Is Facebook kicking it over for us
I
or no?
cannot tell. But if anybody is watching from Facebook, please tell us that you are. But I cannot figure it out. And so, oh God, I was gonna put up our
It doesn't seem to be throwing out a live link.
Yeah, that
Is the
is
basic
just
problem. Yeah, when I click on it, it's telling me the event, but the link is not there.
I'm probably gonna have to go the round with
Be
help
Live.
from our we use Be Live for our program, and usually it's fine, but Facebook made some changes a couple of months ago.
And this is the rollout.
And this is the result of it.
It's like Be Live themselves. What color is Facebook too?
Blue.
For sure. You know what? Be sure to Iris, if you haven't already, put the YouTube link on the Facebook page.
I just said go to the YouTube. The YouTube link is in the description on the Facebook page. And if I try to copy and paste it from
it jumps around.
It's one of those huge ones. And so I have to go back to let me get back to YouTube.
Do what you feel like you need to do. Earth Star and Dale and Jeannie are here from YouTube. Yay!
Yay! Thank you.
Yep, looking forward to working on that throat tonight. Absolutely, because we're all going to be using our throats quite a lot tomorrow, with a lot of eating and a lot of talking, and a lot of shifting, perhaps.
For sure.
As we do now in America, we tend to spend what we call Thanksgiving Day with our family types, but some people spend that time with their spiritual family, and other people spend time doing like soup kitchens and volunteerism and good deeds like that. Instead, it's the beginning of the season for people of that being socially sanctioned. However, we should be doing this good stuff all year long. Coming back to the topic, swinging back around, just because of the date is where that came from. It actually ties into the topic for today, throat chakra. I'm using my throat chakra quite a lot right now and every week for this show. So the throat chakra, largely let's go into a summary of what throat chakra largely does for humans, and then we'll break it on down a little bit more about what else it does. But for starters, the largest characteristics of throat chakras is actually twofold, and it has to do with its location in the throat and neck. And looking at our Roy G. Biv chart, if you want to pop that all the way up, Iris, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. And you can see the blue chakra right at about shoulder level for this little guy, and the little arrow points to his throat, and it is blue. It is also the note of G, and it affects your thyroid gland. But interestingly, you notice there's a blue stripe through his face and under his nose and up to the top of his other ear.
It's like he's wearing a bad version of a mask.
Exactly. It's like he's wearing an oxygen tubes leads. The blue chakra affects our lower jaw, all of our ears, and our throat, and to around to the back of your neck. So basically, the part of your skull that is the jaw hinge and your ear tissues and cartilages and good stuff that go with it, all that stuff that technically could be separated from your skull.
Ow.
Not that you right, right. All that connected to your throat chakra and your neck chakra. Sorry, throat structures and neck structures. Those are all largely affected by this blue chakra. So your hearing is also affected, and since it's part of your lower jaw, your lower teeth, your tongue, all that good stuff, that jawbone, that's all in there. But your upper teeth, your soft palate, your hard palate, your nose, sinuses, that's the next chakra up. So the division line is over the top of your ears and through your mouth. All right.
Mm.
It splits right on your mouth.
Is
And
that why sometimes we
down
speak
to your
with a
throat.
forked tongue?
This is possibility, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why that's got that crazy, unusual line in Roy G. Biv's face on that drawing. Throat chakra is a little bit different. It's not a clear, well, none of them are clear cut, but throat chakra is really goes
That's
all the way through.
wow.
Yeah, just to draw it on myself for you. And,
Yeah.
from here above my hand.
It's like a horse bit
Yeah, almost like
around the ears and
spiritual horse bit.
nay, nay.
And still, you see how this just all goes back to communicating and so on. And a bit is how we communicate with a horse and how the horse communicates with us. Yeah, it's all part of that as well. The bridle and everything. So throat chakra, as you can tell, is, and very obviously, first of all, affects how we communicate. It is has a very strong effect on how each person affects his or her own expression of truth. Okay, to be more and more and more specific, because everything you say, everything you refuse to say, everything you acknowledge, everything you choose to fib about, lie about, tell the truth about, tell a partial truth about, tell a story,
Choke on your own words.
choke on your own words, everything that comes out past that chakra is affected by that chakra. So, in a nutshell, the throat chakra affects how you express your truth. And this affects your breathing and your singing and your chanting and all of these other, personal growth and or spiritual practices. That's all involves blue throat chakra as well. Everything that comes out, everything you
Well, it's
sing,
kind of
everything you say.
interesting because the eustachian tubes, which are from the
Yes.
inner ear and go down,
Yeah.
they're coming down into your throat,
Hmm.
and that kind of explains why this is connected as well. Do you know what I mean? Like when
Yeah,
people
there's
get
a
a
whole bunch of connectivity behind that
yeah,
behind that bone.
right,
Yeah,
and
down
it's like yeah, and it's so
one
because
into
people
it.
could get um a sore throat and it can affect their ears or their ears can get stopped up and it can affect their throat, the connection there, and
The
I don't know that a
drainage
lot of people
immediately affects their throat. Yeah, ear
yeah.
infection gives you a throat infection. It's because what you hear and what you say are always connected. Yeah,
Mhm.
sound. They're all sound. They're
Yeah.
all sound. Our sound toys, our sound tools. So the second thing is related to this, that throat chakra also affects. Throat chakra also affects anything you accept, such as food, water, medicine, advice, help. All right. Energy workers, sometimes one of their biggest stuck chakra scenarios or wonky chakra scenarios is their throat chakra is off. And it's not about expressing their truth, it's about the fact that they have a hard time accepting help. They are used to being helpers, they're not used to receiving help. That has to change. You have to be able to do both. right? Start plugging into doing some shadow work with your worthiness issues that might be subliminal, let's say subconscious, which means you're not consciously aware of them. I don't have subconscious. Well, okay, I don't think I have. Well, yeah, you don't think about it. Subconscious means below thought. So, blue chakras affect uh, what comes in your mouth, in your face, so to speak. Help, food, medicine, water, advice. Iris found some really cool funnies about throat chakra.
And
Roll them up.
this one, just
Roll
when
them
you were
all
talking
together.
about doing shadow work, and this is I can't remember who these characters are. They're from like
That's He-Man.
He-Man, yeah, and
Skeletor.
that the skeleton face got Skeletor.
Skeletor was his arch enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and you were talking about doing shadow work, and that's what reminded me of this one. And they're roller skating like a couple's pair would,
As a
and it's
couple skate. Yeah.
yeah, me and my dark side after meditating and aligning our chakras.
The good guy and the bad guy are in perfect couple skating harmony with each other.
Yeah.
Little disco light in there. It's cute as hell. It's
So you want
awesome.
to have that alignment. It just,
It's about alignment. Yeah. Throat chakra is extremely useful in shadow work. We did an episode on shadow work. Feel free to go look that up on iriscarter.com. In the index that she created, look up the word shadow work. And we actually give you specific advice and steps for how you can do shadow work for yourself and why and where it comes from and what it does for you. Throat chakra is a big part of that because it is such a highway for self expression as well as how you process how the world expresses itself towards you, how you perceive it, how you express yourself, and how you perceive the rest of the world. That's right there. Throat chakra. Very blue. Very, very blue.
I guess that's why it gets blocked. You turn blue, huh?
Ooh, you're coming up with a lot of good relativities. Yeah, that would be signature. Yeah, you turn blue when your throat gets
Or you talk till you're
cut off.
blue in the
Talk
face.
to your blue in the face. Talk a blue streak. Somebody who
Mm-hmm.
talks without stopping. That would be me. Tonight, I am talking a blue streak in
Hey,
honor of the
you're on
show.
game.
No worries. Iris, roll some more of that beautiful bean footage. You've got some seriously funny stuff. Give us
Oh, let's
regale us a little
see.
bit more.
Let's see. Well, if we're talking about the throat chakra, let's go here. We have Bart and Homer, and Homer is choking Bart. I'll teach you how to align your throat chakra.
Classic Bart and Homer Simpson.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And let's see, which one was it? Oh, this one was oh, who the squirrels are on PBS. I can't think of their name, but
I've never really watched the show. They kind of creep me out.
yeah, yeah. It's like not Arnold, Alfred,
Arthur or something
Oscar.
like that.
Yeah, Arthur. That's it. And he is talking to his sister, and so a random person. How can you call yourself a light worker and use such foul language? Because he says, and then he looks at her and says, "That's why the fuck your throat chakra is blocked."
Got
Because
to
you're not.
learn to enjoy your swear words and use them in a sacred manner.
Yeah, exactly. And just for emphasis, I used the word fuck to clear my throat chakra.
I know about 6 or 8 people that could actually that would love to have that in their home
Yeah, or on their shirt, t-shirt,
or
or
on their
something like
shirt, in their
that.
car. They screech it on a regular occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, bumper sticker would be
Bumper
good.
sticker would be good. Somebody with Tourette's, this would be a great T-shirt for them.
Yeah.
Tourette syndrome. People, yeah, look it up. Tourettete. Tourette syndrome.
Yes.
And
Um, so I
did
got a
you
few
have
more, but
another?
I'll save them. Yeah, I'll save
Okay.
the others
All
for a
right.
bit.
So if you could pop up that strip from the chart of the fifth
Yeah.
chakra and all of its prime functions,
Where did it go now? There.
principle, divine
Oh, there it
principles and
is.
goals.
Here's the full chart,
Yes.
and
We
so
are
you.
smack in the middle on the light blue one. Hmm.
right, the rainbow colors, and so we know that's hard to read here.
So we blew it
So
up a little bit. And there are other
I
things.
blew it up, BLUE and
Oh,
BLEW.
I got right on her puns.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we mentioned a little bit ago that about what note it is, and it's the note of G, which is very, very popular in like flute music and violins and other musical instruments that mimic
Hmm.
the human voice. G is a very universal note, but that is your throat chakra as well. Um, it is also, besides communication, it is also a secondary creativity chakra. You can see that in the first column. And the primary creativity chakra is considered in this echelon of seven chakras. There's more chakras than just seven, by the way, but we're doing main seven chakras for right now. Creativity is also a huge part of second chakra. So the fifth chakra is also creativity. Think of it in terms of when people sing or come up with speeches, poems, narratives,
Acting.
acting. Absolutely. These are all types of performance creativity that to do, obviously, with sound. Some of its divine goals are obviously articulation, self expression in terms of speech or communication. Um, Humans are evolving away from speech and they're getting more and more intuitive, which is interesting. So, a primary communication chakra is probably going to move from five to six. We'll talk about that more next month when we talk about the sixth chakra. But for now, humans still do a lot of talking and not as telepathic as they will be. Um, and some of them are. Don't want to under don't don't want to miss out on that. But the throat chakra, which also affects your ears, affects your sense of hearing. We mentioned before it affects your thyroid, and it is also a key chakra in healing, healing nature, expressing life force. Um, your ears and lower sinuses. It's a part of your upper respiratory system. And it's also key in the balance of yin and yang, the balance of male and female. Again, this ties back a little bit to your second and even first chakra, which are also male and female chakras. The fifth chakra is about balancing, assisting in the balance of that. To name Go off to the right end of the chart there where you see green labels at the top. These are some other tools that are used to affect or associated to the throat chakra. Saturn is a the planet that's associated to that. And if you are into conspiracy research and you go into the space programs, you'll find out a lot is happening around Saturn that has to do with negotiations. A lot to do with the
Ah.
negotiations, yeah. And the moon's around Saturn, not just Saturn. But that's an interesting revelation there. The element of ether, and one of the aromatherapies is eucalyptus. Think about how
Mm.
we use eucalyptus in a lot of throat medications and cold medications.
It
Um,
smells so good. I had a friend
mhm.
that used to make eucalyptus wreaths, and I had one of those wreaths hanging forever, and it just always smelled so good.
Absolutely, they will. Yes, they are. Yeah, same. I love that smell too. It smells like you're constantly in cut grass. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
One of the metals is mercury for it, the chant of Hong. Food, if you'd like to work on your throat chakra, consider fruit. Also, a fragrance or a tea is peppermint, which is excellent for this.
Mm-hmm.
One of the incenses that is ideal for it is sage. And of course, any rock that has any shade of blue in it, such as a turquoise, an aquamarine, a blue lace agate, a sapphire, blue calcite, blue kyanite. Blue kyanite actually affects all chakras, but obviously it's blue, so it works there. These are all some sample blue stones and crystals that work on your throat chakra. So, thank you for bringing that up on the screen for us, Iris.
Sure.
Absolutely. So, there's a lot you can do with a throat chakra and throat chakra awareness. Um, it's interesting. One of the key things that I find fascinating about it is that it's so closely tied to not only communication, but expressing truth, which is a big deal in Western society and Eastern society. But I don't know Eastern culture as much as I know Western, so that's where I got to speak from right now. Western culture is big about what is the truth right now. And there are a lot of people out there that call themselves truthers or debunkers or fact checkers or um, patriots or on and on and on and on. And these are all people who discuss uh, all aspects of what each person, let's call them parties. And I'm not talking about political, that has nothing to do with this. I'm just talking about a generic word for one person or several people. The generic word is party. All right. So, generically, I'm talking about each party talks about each side of what it thinks truth is. And what is interesting is when you've been looking into this stuff for a long time and you give equal weight and equal time and equal consideration to both views, take off the emotional baggage of any view and get down to the meat of what they're saying, what they're trying to communicate. And what you find out is truth is so subjective that everybody is correct in one way or another, depending on your perspective. All right. An analogy, I don't know if I've said this analogy on this show yet, but it's a good one to use in this situation. Let's say you're on a street corner in a big bustling city, New York, Chicago, Hong Kong, London, it doesn't matter. Big bustling city. And you see a woman and a man. They're not near each other. The man's standing on the corner. He's obviously waiting to cross the street. Traffic's going by. And there's a woman several feet away and she's staring at him and she's staring at him hard. He has his back to her. And she clenches her teeth, puts her hands in her pockets, walks up behind him, pulls her hands out. She has a gun. She puts it in his back and blows him away. He drops. He's dead. Was that a crime? Did she? Yeah, well, technically she committed a crime. Was it justified? Was there a truth? Was there what's going on? Is there's got to be more to the story. And to roll the thing about what is truth, okay, it's true that she killed him. Was it justified? Was it a divine thing to do? If you do the research that's left out of the story on purpose, you find out that this man attacked and killed her children in the recent past. So, from whose perspective? Her perspective, his perspective, her family's perspective, his family's perspective. Who had the higher ground and or truth? Justification for what she did. And it becomes subjective. It becomes completely subjective for what is truth. The truth being is the question being is what she did right or not. Okay.
Well, and yeah, and that's all based when you're looking at that. That depends on the court system, which is very 3D.
Exactly. We're talking about 3D values, 3D perceptions, 3D language, 3D measures, 3D cultural expectations and limitations. All these are all in 3D. And similar to what we mentioned before, a lot of this fifth chakra stuff is going to move up into sixth chakra when we're more intuitive and we understand each other by sensibility rather than by cultural limits of words. By the way,
And then you get to manipulating the story in court, and it's going to depend on how they can get the sympathy of the jury.
how good of an actor or a locator is your attorney?
Yeah,
How
because I mean,
they
technically, You don't go up behind somebody and shoot them
and
without
get away with
warning.
it usually. Yeah.
Don't take the law in your own hands. All that good stuff that they
But
love to
people
tell
do
you.
because
But
they have
people
a good attorney who knows how to play and a judge and a jury around and around. You know, O.J. Simpson case. That was a classic national example of the chess game of the lawyers and the attorneys and the judges and the um, jury and the
unless you know the
witnesses.
backstory.
Yeah, unless you know the backstory and the witnesses and so on. You know, that was just a nationally broadcasted one.
I had a
So just
friend
as
that actually knew Lancito and knew the
mhm.
backstory and all that stuff. And
Yeah. Oh, I know. Our Iris is a walking Reader's Digest of interesting backstory. She knows interesting people.
and what was funny was after my friend told me about this, I went and looked it up, and I'll be damned, it's out there. It's floating around. His son did it.
Yeah, and the media, it's old news or whatever reason they want to. Yeah, eventually it came through that the son did it, and OJ was protecting his son by taking the rap, and his lawyer was trying to minimize that rap.
And his son's on the autism spectrum and was a chef and got pissed off because Nicole had booked him and then turned around at the
Dictator.
last minute for to do that birthday party. You know, they went out instead,
Mhm.
and he was supposed to have served him in her home, and she canceled at the last minute, and he got pissed off, went
And
by her
went after her.
house, and went after her,
And Cato walked in on it.
uh-huh.
Bad timing.
And not Cato, the other guy, the guy from the restaurant.
Guy from the restaurant
Cato was the guy living in the guest house or whatever.
that got, he got whacked too, didn't he?
No, no. Cato was living on OJ's property, not Nicole's property.
Okay, now you're getting into details that I don't remember. Good Lord, this was back in what, 98,
Yeah,
99,
something like that. But anyway,
97.
it's just interesting when you start it makes a lot of sense as to what
Remember the
happened.
world's slowest police chase in the white Bronco?
That was while he was
That was
negotiating.
OJ talking to his attorney about how do I cover up for my son.
And
Yeah,
that's
that
why the blood samples match so well and all that stuff. And
yeah.
the glove was just a little small, and why it was the same as gloves that he already had. He bought a pair for his
So
son.
all this stuff all these truths roll out 10, 20, 15 years later, which tells you in the moment whenever you have a controversial truth being presented to you, wait, bigger truths will come out. And if you guys haven't noticed, time is shooting by faster than it ever has. You ain't got to wait 10 years anymore for anything to happen. So express your truth. Keep your throat chakra nice and healthy. Use it. Speak your truth often. Um, have you ever noticed that when you feel suppressed or intimidated, or your toes are being stepped on, your throat will clench up, and your throat or your mouth will go dry. That's another one that people talk about, and you get verklempt is the Hebrew word for it, getting all choked up. Yeah, these are all words about your throat chakra reacting to um, inappropriate pressure. A good way to exercise your throat chakra is using those chants. Almost any chant that you find or mantra that you find that you
He's
find
just
appealing,
chanting.
including scream therapy,
What
obviously.
would Gina do?
Hands open. Scream therapy is a great way to get your throat chakra open fast, especially when you're feeling very, very choked up. However, singing or humming, um, Isa Dolly High, but long before she died, did a presentation for Journey of the Spirit about the value of singing for yourself, to yourself every day, its spiritual
Hmm.
value as well as its health value. Wonderful woman, operatic singer turned spiritual sound therapist, healer, harmonizer, all that beautiful stuff. Her sister still uh, maintains that memory of her. Her sister and their mother and her husband and her dog all died at the same time in a car accident years and years
Oh.
ago. Highway, they all went out together. And Ms. Dolly High was awesome, and
I remember her, I think.
yeah, she lived in Greensboro. You would have. Yeah. And I remember during her presentation, she talked about the value of keening, 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 which is, ooh, it's a, especially if you're sad, obviously. Like a puppy dog does, like a cat does, like a lot of wild animals and birds do. They'll keen when they're feeling, especially overwhelmed with sadness, grief, or displacement, disappointment, whatever. And keening is an excellent way to let your throat chakra manage that for you, handle that energy for you, express the truth of
There's
your
a dog that's not going to
feelings.
need to keen.
This dog is finished keening and now he is straight through because his chakras are very aligned. I love that picture.
Gosh, Shauna, just for people who might be hearing this later, it's when your chakras are aligned as fuck, and it's a vet with a flashlight shining in the dog's mouth, and it's going out his butt. You know,
Oh,
it's like,
there's a light spot on the wall behind the dog's butt. A little beam coming out all the way. Thank you. Yeah, we do need to describe it for the listeners for later on. And so keening is one expression of that. Chanting mantras is another way. A very popular one is Om. You want to hear a magnificent Om? Go visit Dale and Jean Stacy and wait for Dale to do an Om for you. Ooh, that man's got lungs like a billow, and it's there's three elements to that sound. So anyway, you can round it out. That's a very popular Om, and it's the O, the A, the U, the M sound, collectively called Om. Um, Om Haim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche. That's another one we got up on the wall here. It's a Hindu. One of my favorites is Om Shrim Danvantari Namaha Om. And it's a blessing chant that generally you do while you're cooking to bless and protect the food for the people that are also going to eat it later. But you can do it on yourself, on your loved ones, on your car, on your projects. It's a generic blessing. And I like humming that one when the energy is, and sometimes I'll do it in my head when it's not appropriate to say it out loud. But there's almost everybody. Remember, was it Transcendentalism eventually gave one of their tricks was to give everybody their own little mantra or their own little keyword or whatever. And that's a part of that too. That's throat chakra activation as well. Letting that they used it as a key to tune into their sacred self, I believe, their higher self, whatever phrase you want to call that. So, exercising your throat chakra and also giving it a break once in a while is useful. And Iris has another cartoon for us that's awesome.
This one is the Cookie Monster, and he's kind of glowing there. But he says, and he's glowing and
got rainbows coming out his throat.
Yeah, and he's like me trying to keep my throat chakra in check before I pop off and hurt somebody's feelings.
There's movies written about that. It's a subplot in You've Got Mail, where the woman, the main character woman, Meg Ryan talks about how she feels stuck and when she wants to say something in retort when somebody's rude to her, and when she finally does say something clever and rude back to the other main character, Tom Hanks, who is her nemesis at that point in the plot, she regrets it. And he goes on to explain why that is. She's like, how come is it when I finally get to do what I've always wanted to, I didn't like it, I didn't enjoy it? And he says, because it wasn't, because you were provoked. You didn't do it out of a genuine need or want. You did it because you were provoked. And that's not fair. And he's talking about gaslighting and manipulation, which is ironic coming from Tom Hanks. But anyway, I digress.
One of the channels that I've got a smart TV, and there's a channel that kind of it's sort of like watching a TV channel, but they have like movies and programs and stuff programmed that you can just watch or you can live stream. And uh this weekend is Hank's Thanksgiving,
I
and it's a
saw the
bunch of
cover.
Tom Hanks
He
movies.
did a bunch of movies and holiday specials. Yes, he did in his time. And yeah, interesting guy. So yeah, Thanksgiving, I'm sure. Very cute, very clever. So where I wanted to go, we're at 11 minutes after the hour. A little bit of a throat chakra blue. Iris, do you feel like you could lead us through a blue throat chakra truth expression oriented
Mm.
meditation of some sort?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, breathing is obviously a big part of that. It's going right through your throat. So any
Mhm.
breathing meditation is also going to affect the health of the
Mhm.
efficiency of your throat chakra.
And I think, yeah, and I'm just trying to see what else is coming to me, but let's if you're if you're seated and comfortable, um take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Another deep breath and let it out. Feel yourself in your chair or on whatever apparatus you're sitting upon, and feel your body in contact with it. And uh, feel your feet on the floor and feel the earth energy coming up through the bottom of your feet, into your feet, up your ankles, your the calves of your legs, and the fronts of your legs, and up through your thighs. Earth energy coming up into your hips, up your body, through your chakras, the red, orange, yellow, green, and we feel it rise up to the blue. And we're going to focus on the blue area, that throat area, for just a moment. And imagine the color blue in your mind's eye. And imagine that blue sitting kind of atop your shoulders and up your throat and around your ears. Um, Blue color, just sort of that medium blue, like we used to color in first grade when you had the blue crayon. Um, the blue of deep water, um, and just imagine that color saturating your throat. And something I heard as we were coming into this is try a low hum, because it's kind of in the bottom of your throat when you can feel that vibration in your throat. And you can hum that to yourself. I won't keep on because I don't want to agitate people, but just that kind of. You can kind of play with it a little bit and make it kind of go up and down the back of your throat. Mm, mm, It's a weird feeling, and it feels like a little ball going up and down your throat. But that sound kind of, it's almost like a little exercise. Mm. You still got the blue color wrapped around your throat and your ears, and as you do that hum, feel the vibration in your ears. Really connect with the sounds and the feelings as you're saturating yourself with that color. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And then let's go on up. We've got the blue. Um, Indigo is the next color up around our third eye, forehead area. Um, and indigo is a deep blue. I always think of indigo ink when I think about ink. So it goes, it's a deeper blue than what we had. And then just above your head is violet. And I always think about the purple violets I used to pick in the backyard. Um, and feel that earth energy that's just coming all the way up your body, energizing your chakras. And it all comes up to a bright white light at the very top. And you can kind of imagine yourself in a bubble at the top of your head, and look around, what's going on outside your body. Where are you? Can you see the room around you even though your eyes are closed? And feel the energy that comes up from Mother Earth and that comes down to us from the all that is, and kind of meets, and we're meeting it in the middle. And absorb that energy and bring it back down inside your body and down into your heart space. And take another deep breath in and let it out slowly. Feel that energy circulating up from the earth and down from above, and it's circulating through your body and keeping your chakras energized. Then you can open your eyes when you're ready.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Aloha. Aho. Ashe. Baraka. Aloha. Did I say aloha already? Yeah.
It doesn't, it's always bears repeating,
It does. It does. Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And since we're all
So,
lined up, here's SpongeBob kind of
this
taking
is
a deep breath in a alcove under the sea. I spiritualized so hard I pulled a fucking chakra.
I love that one. I love that one the most.
So we hope we didn't
Winded,
spiritualize y'all too
leaning on a
hard
log.
out there. And on a more serious note, but really sweet, I found
I'm turning
Margaret's
off
gonna
my
lose it over
microphone. I'm going to
SpongeBob.
snort all the way through.
Oh, it's fun though. I found this, and this drawing came in a lot of different ways. It just happened to be on a T-shirt that, yes, I stole from an ad, but so be. Oh, whoops! Where did it go now? Dang
It's a
it!
cool T-shirt of your 7 main chakras.
Oh man, yes,
2 words
but it's
each.
got it real short and succinct, and there it is. Okay, I meant to hit the wrong
Blow
button.
it all the way up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet going from bottom to top. But I loved the word association. So for red, I am, that's your root chakra. The orange is in your gut, I feel. Yellow, I do. The green is your heart chakra, I love. Blue, I speak. Indigo, I see. And violet, I know. So I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see, I know. And I just thought that was such a nice, succinct expression.
It's way oversimplified on purpose, and it gets you. It's a beautiful expression. I like it a lot. I would wear it.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
a good beat. Now you can dance to it.
I have to make up something around that for just a post and
A meme of some sort.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
repost it
putting
as a
up on
meme.
a wall and that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, very cool.
absolutely.
And I don't want to take away, but I do have something I want to add before
Oh,
we
I'm
wrap up.
wrapped. I'm wrapped up. Go ahead.
All
Yeah.
right. I thought it was interesting because we didn't do our behind the curtain today, but I thought of something that's sort of related to what you were talking about, and so I'm throwing this
Yes.
up at the end. And it came about because I'm taking a digital marketing class, and they've been talking about this brouhaha that's been going with Twitter and Elon Musk buying it, and the people backing off, and he fired people, and and it's just in the
Drama.
news. It's this
Drama.
big dramatic mess, and I ended up doing a little research because the teacher had sent an email to all the students who are in the class. So it's a small class, and it said, "Well, here's another article from the New York Times about this stuff going on with Elon Musk, and because we're studying social media, we might be interested." And so I ended up writing back, and I said, "But y'all might want to realize if you read Elon Musk's posts, they make sense. And he admits his mistakes. He's corrected some of his mistakes. And when you look at the New York Times, 2 out of the 3 top stakeholders are Vanguard and
Ooh.
BlackRock. And
Ooh.
BlackRock owns part of Vanguard.
So it's all the same thing.
So
It's
it's
all
all the same
BlackRock,
thing.
who
And
is
they
very
own the New York
nefarious. They're
Times.
very,
Basically,
yeah.
and I said, if you looked at who owns it, and
Follow the money.
that a few years
Who owns it?
ago,
Who owns it? Follow the money. Right.
back in 2018, Elon Musk pissed off BlackRock or Vanguard, one of them. I can't remember now which one.
Doesn't matter.
But he
Same thing.
pissed them off. He challenged something they were doing and pissed them off.
Typical for him. Yeah.
And so, no wonder that when you look at the New York Times and you're reading what they're saying, and you read what Elon Musk himself is posting, he's very active on Twitter.
Oh, he loves Twitter.
You can see how they're twisting things that he's saying and leaving out things.
Context. Leaving out context on purpose. Which is yellow journalism, which is rampant everywhere in television too.
And when you look at the 6 corporations own 95% of the media.
Mm-hmm.
And so I threw all this into my little email. And when I got to class, the teacher was like, I'm tuning into Twitter every day and reading Elon Musk's stuff. I'm finding it fascinating. And he really is making changes. And he really is. New York Times shit went out the window. And I was like, he didn't say that part, but, it was like.
He figured he took the hint and ran with it.
Yeah.
Because of your prompt. Good job.
So, yeah. And I'm not patting myself, but I'm just saying.
Oh, I am. I'm patting your back.
Thank you. But it's very interesting when you start digging in and seeing, because that was the first thing I did was I went, who owns the New York Times? And then when I saw it was those companies, and oh God, BlackRock.
Ominous, Dominus, Deus, God bless us all.
I like Oreos and milk. Whatever.
Was it spectacles, testicles, watch, and wallets? For kids, little boys trying to remember which way am I supposed to draw?
Spectacles, yeah, exactly.
Testicles, wallet, and watch.
Yeah, exactly. But and then the little more digging. Oh, you look up like Musk and BlackRock or Musk and Vanguard, and whichever one it came up, here's the whole. It was a lot
conflict that they had. Yeah.
And so I'm like,
so they have they have an agenda against each other. Elon Musk does too. Yeah, he has an agenda against them as well.
And they were pissed that he bought Twitter.
Well, yeah, Twitter is the number one way of communicating with the middle bulk age groups, from teens to 40s. Yeah, and higher. Actually, it's into the 50s now. So
and then it was like, and then there was this big brouhaha about he's going to actually let Trump. Well, he let people vote who should Trump be allowed to have an account or not. And I heard somebody make the remark, "Are you really going to let a former president not have an account on social media?"
That's un-American.
Yeah,
He's still a U.S. citizen. Yeah,
he's a U.S. citizen, and he's the former. Regardless of how you feel about him, would you deny if Reagan was still alive, or Nixon, or Carter,
if
or
Carter wanted to do it, if Biden wanted to do it, all of them.
would you deny them? Would you ever kick them off to begin with, and would you deny them?
Both questions become relevant.
So it's just been interesting
Can
to
you
watch.
imagine Jimmy Carter tweeting?
Yeah.
We
But
could come up with
he's got
some
a. I'm
Saturday
sure he's
Night
got a
Live
Twitter
smart.
account though. Somebody's,
Yeah,
even
I'm
if
sure
he's got
somebody's doing it for him.
handlers, but
Yeah, he's probably got handlers doing it for him because he's into so many charities. I'm sure they
yeah,
do. I would be interesting to see what he actually would say. Wow, talk about reaching across the ages. Well, thank
yeah,
you for that really cool insight.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Vanguard
that
and
was
BlackRock are are is it BlackRock or Blackstone?
BlackRock.
BlackRock, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to find out about what's going on behind what's going on,
I mean, there
those
was
two
even an article
companies,
I found where somebody had analyzed this. It's like they own friggin' everything.
everything,
They've got,
the height of monopoly.
yeah. It's like in their annual budget, or it's like in the trillions of dollars, and it's like, holy cow. I mean,
Most people can't comprehend what a trillion is.
no,
They can barely understand a million, and then a
yes,
million millions is a billion, and then a million billions is
no,
a
a
trillion.
thousand,
Nope,
a thousand.
nope.
Oh, you're right, a million billion. Yeah,
See what I mean? Most
yeah,
people,
you're right.
your brain will not let you grasp that kind of number.
If you've ever
It's a
seen
million
Eddie Izzard's
billions,
Dress
and
to
each
Kill,
billion is a million millions,
Eddie
and then you've
Izzard
got a
talked.
million of those, and that's called a trillion. And their budget is in the trillions. That's national debt stuff. That's the kind of
Yeah,
money it takes to run a country the size of the United States, not Spain, not Philippines, not Indonesia, not those tiny countries. That's the budget for the United States and the USSR and China. They talk in trillions. That's how much money Vanguard and BlackRock handle each year.
it's
Should
just
tell you the magnitude
phenomenal.
of what they own,
Yeah, yeah.
which means there's only one person calling the shots.
It's friggin' phenomenal. And then you wonder, how does somebody get that job? You don't just get out of college and go, I'm going to be the CEO of Vanguard, or yeah, right.
Exactly. That's family stuff. And so then you start looking into 13 families. Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's a pretty good whopping couple of peeks behind curtains.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Iris.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
But
Iris.
all right, so let me show you this. Next week, we're winding up here.
Yeah.
Next week, we are going to welcome Nicole DePaul, and she's the owner of Om Sweet Om Yoga and Fitness. And she's going to talk about the connections between yoga and other healing modalities. And so we hope that will join us. And no, we won't make you do these positions unless you really want to. Um, and just to give you a peek, coming up in December, we've got ghost busting on December 7th, which means we're going to bust some myths about ghosts. December 14th, psychic readings, one of the ones that's popular with our audience. December 21st is winter solstice. So we're going to get planetary on y'all's asses.
Booyah.
Yeah, it's not like we're just gonna go frolicking naked in the snow. We've got a purpose to talk about the solstice and what the planets do,
Hmm.
and
How
stars,
that
and
affects humans. Yeah.
yes, astrology, astronomy, all that good stuff. And then December 28th, we're moving on up the chakras into indigo.
The
So
Eyes of Indigo talks about the indigo chakra, the star color of the show.
yeah, that's right.
Thank you for mentioning that you like the food kitchen blessing mantra as well. You're very welcome.
Yes.
So if you guys want to know what it is, that maybe you tuned in later, it's Om Shrim Danvantari Hi Namaha. Om Shrim Danvantari Hi Namaha. Om. I sang it up a echo chamber stairwell in my mother's house, and I recorded it for like
I
30
remember that.
seconds
Yeah.
this past summer. Sometime we'll maybe I will play it on this show,
Yeah, it would be nice because it's like I like it, but I will never remember it. I've got to find it in writing and practice it a lot or
which is
something.
how
So,
I did it.
and that might be something we'll try to find that and post it for y'all. So, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Dale and Jeannie, and everybody that's watching. And we're apologize for Facebook. Well, no, I don't apologize for Facebook. I
Speak your truth, Iris.
I know it. I'm not gonna make excuses for them because they're the ones that have screwed up our system. But we'll find the workaround, or just heavily tell people just go to YouTube and watch us. One way or another, we'll try to find a workaround
Mitigate
for it.
away.
But
Yeah.
hopefully everybody's tuning into this later as well. So we appreciate you being with us.
We love
And
you guys.
yes, and we look forward to seeing you next week. So good night.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining The Eyes of Indigo with Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears. Music is Arcadia by Kevin MacLeod of Incomptech.com, licensed under Creative Commons. Visit our Facebook page for broadcast details at www.facebook.com/Eyes of Indigo. Show is copyrighted 2022 by Iris Carter and Margot Ross Sears. All rights reserved.